are a small number of very simple things that everyone can do who's overweight and wants to start immediately losing weight. At the moment, modern man's diet consists mostly of processed foods, and we have to change that around and make the bulk of our diet natural and organic foods. And natural and organic foods don't need to be expensive foods. I'm talking about nuts, seeds, I'm talking about honey, I'm talking about eggs, I'm talking about oats and a few other cereals, I'm talking about fish, I'm talking about fruit, and I'm talking about vegetables. One other thing I'd like to speak about is the fact that I haven't included any red meat in that list. Uh, the reason specifically being is that it's very expensive. Um, in Western societies, we tend to eat the exterior muscle of animals. We tend to eat the neck, the shoulders, the rump, uh, and the rib element of these animals. And the meat from the exterior meat of most animals tends to be quite expensive. Uh, if I want to eat red meat specifically, I tend to go for the innards of the animals. I tend to go for either the liver, kidneys, or heart, which are a much higher protein level than the external muscle, and they also have a great deal out of nutrients that the external muscle does not have, and they're a fraction of the price, a tiny fraction of the price. You know, when you start eating organic or natural foods, one of the most amazing things that you're aware of is you don't eat as much of it. And the reason that you don't eat as much of it is because, unlike processed foods, it's charged up with the natural elements that the body needs and requires. And you only need a small portion of it in terms of its nutrient value versus a huge amount or a large amount when you eat processed foods. And a lot of people are amazed by that, but it's just a natural byproduct of what you're doing. I eat a lot of fruit and a lot of vegetables in the routine that I have, and uh, up until I think the late 70s, I used to overcook the vegetables that I ate a lot. I overcooked them far too much, and I was made aware of this when I was working in New York, and I think it was about around 1976 or 77, as an instructor in a health club there, and I met a Thai chef who basically told me that the longest period they would cook vegetables in a wok would be about 2 minutes, and I never really forgot that. And while I don't really cook in the Thai manner very much, uh, if I steam vegetables, I rarely steam them for more than 4 minutes, and it leaves most of the nutrients still in the vegetable. The next thing I'd like to talk about is essentially the exercise element of this program. And really, what I'd like to do is I'd like really to keep it as simple as possible. And what I would like to advocate is two of the most natural and the most simple exercises that man has always done from he's lived on this planet, and they are walking and swimming. Now, when I mean walking and when I mean swimming, I don't mean that we go out for a little casual walk as if we're walking at 2 or 3 miles an hour. I'm not talking about that. That will do no one any good. When I mean walking, I am talking about the minimum walk of approximately 4 to 5 miles. So that's somewhere from where you start, it's 2.5 miles away, and you walk to that point as hard as you can, and you walk back again as hard as you can. Now, the first time you do it, you may not be able to do that, but you should build up to that. And what you should be trying to do is, on an incremental basis, build up the distance that you actually travel, so that what you're doing is eventually you're walking for approximately between 40 and 50 minutes minimum hard walking. In doing these types of exercises, what you're trying to do, or doing any type of exercise, what you're trying to do, you're trying to normalize your metabolism. What you're doing with these exercises is you're giving your body a cardiovascular workout. Basically, your heart, your lungs, you're asking your heart and your lungs to do a workout. And what that also does as a byproduct of that is that it normalizes your metabolism, the rate at which you burn and utilize fuel that's coming into your body, because it will have been put out of kilter by the fact that you're eating processed food so much. You know, if you do embrace this program and you do take up eating natural stroke organic foods, and you do a basic exercise program alongside it, I can assure you, you will not have any problems sleeping. But the two things that I would mention are, number one, the amount of time that is spent sleeping. I think that modern man doesn't spend enough time sleeping. The vast majority of people that I know spend no more than 6 or 7 hours sleeping. And I don't believe that if you're exercising and you're eating properly, that is long enough. I think you should be spending at least 8.5, 9 hours sleeping. The other thing I would say about actually sleeping and before you go to bed is that you should not be eating large amounts of food. You should have eaten your final meal at least 3 or 4 hours before you go to sleep. We're coming to the end of this little mini-series now, and I'd just like to thank everyone. And as I said before, if this is of just use to one person, then it will have been worthwhile.